Donald Trump, the direct message here to Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli military leadership is help me draw a line. Let's make the ceasefire come true by not responding to the Iranian missile that fell after the ceasefire had kicked in at 2 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time.
We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.
Okay, even tougher stuff that is being said here, and certainly a frustration from the president. One of the things about Donald Trump when it comes to these situations is he doesn't hide. We know what he's thinking. Middle of the night, middle of the day, he'll bang it out on social media. He'll then go to a press conference, make it very clear, and then step in essentially to say, in a very direct way, that cooler heads need to prevail at this particular moment. Now, our plan this evening is to talk to Nigel Farage, of course, the potential future Prime Minister of the UK, man, of course, leading the Reform Party. In between, we will be going to lots of other locations around the country. We will also be having more conversations, if we can fit them in and around Australian domestic politics, but for obvious reasons, real time, real moments. Now, again, I'm going to have to send a message live to the team behind the scenes, is that if possible, obviously there's an F word in there, but I'd like to see the longest version of the comments that the president made while he was leaving the White House. Because, generally speaking, all world leaders, Australian leaders as well, they may want to get a message out, which means they only answer one question. The theatrics in and around an American president, and this was perfected by Donald Trump in his first term, practiced by Joe Biden in the second term, and sparsely but still used by Donald Trump in his second term, which is to make comments on the southern lawn of the White House, the one that is closer towards the Washington Monument than, of course, the view that is available from Pennsylvania Avenue. And because of the whirring sounds of the helicopter, often when people are trying to ask questions, the president could pretend not to hear. But in this scenario, the president not only slowed down, he turned, he moved to the reporters. He clearly wanted to be asked as many questions as possible. He didn't just answer one, he answered multiple and included there the little F-bomb. So again, I don't know if I can play the full amount of it here. If we have a full tape to turn around, we don't have it right now, but we will get to it in a moment or two's time. Also worth noting about what has been taking place about the Israeli position before in and around the 6 o'clock hour on the Australian Eastern side of things was that the Israeli Prime Minister had apparently put some sort of another statement out here, and I'm going to read it for you here. Breaking news, on and off with the glasses. I reported to our security cabinet that Israel achieved all of our war goals in the operation, including removing the threat of Iran's nuclear and ballistic missile programs. Israel also damaged Iran's military leadership and several government sites and achieved control over Tehran's skies. So that statement was made when the assumption was everyone's going to hold the line when it comes to the ceasefire. Then missile falls into the north of Israel, again, in between, about 6:30, I think it was, Australian Eastern Time, so Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane and Canberra. Then immediate announcement from the defence officials in Israel was that they were going to respond with maximum force. So it wasn't just going to be a one-for-one missile exchange, but it was going to be a full and punishing response because this particular missile has taken human life. Therefore, the president, and you've seen his anger and you've seen his frustration, is that you had a scenario where both of the players in terms of Israel and Iran had, in and around that ceasefire time, said that they had achieved everything that they had wanted to achieve. An Iranian missile lands in the north of Israel, and that throws everything into chaos. Again, no other formal response from the Israeli government.